boys and girls. It's me, Mrs. Larsen again. I'm here to read another story. Today, the story is There's No Such Thing as a Dragon. Story and pictures by Jack Kent. This was a favorite of my boys. I would read this to them very often. Billy Bixby was rather surprised when he woke up one morning and found a dragon in his room. It was a small dragon, about the size of a kitten, little kitten. The dragon wagged its tail happily when Billy patted its head. Look how surprised Billy is there, seeing that dragon, that little dragon at the end of his bed. Billy went downstairs to tell his mother. "There's no such thing as a dragon," said Billy's mother, and she said it like she meant it. Billy went back to his room and began to dress. The dragon came close to Billy and wagged its tail, but Billy didn't pat it. If there's no such thing as something, it's silly to pat it on its head. Look at that dragon following Billy around. Billy doesn't pay any attention to it. Billy washed his face and hands and went downstairs to breakfast. The dragon went along. It was bigger now, almost the size of a dog. Billy sat down at the table. The dragon sat on the table. This sort of thing was not usually permitted, but there wasn't much Billy's mother could do about it. She had already said there was no such thing as a dragon, and if there's no such thing, you can't tell it to get down off the table. Look at that dragon sitting up on the table. Oh, this book is falling apart. All the many times we read it. Mother made some pancakes for Billy, but Dragon ate them all. Mother made some more, but the dragon ate those too. Mother kept making pancakes until she ran out of batter. Billy only got one of them, but he said that's all he really wanted anyway. Billy went upstairs to brush his teeth. Mother started clearing the table. The dragon, who was quite as big as Mother by this time, made himself comfortable on the hall rug and went to sleep. By the time Billy came back downstairs, the dragon had grown so much he filled the hall. Billy had to go around by way of the living room to get to where his mother was. "I didn't know dragons grew so fast," said Billy. "There's no such thing as a dragon," said his mother firmly. Cleaning the downstairs took Mother all morning, what with the dragon in the way and having to climb in and out of windows to get from room to room. Look at her trying to clean around that huge dragon. A little hard turning the pages when it's coming apart like this. By noon, the dragon filled the house. Its head hung out the front door and its tail out the back door. And there wasn't a room in the house that didn't have some part of the dragon in it. Look at that. His head's out here, his tail's out the back. That's a big dragon. When the dragon awoke from his nap, he was hungry. A bakery truck went by. The smell from fresh bread was more than the dragon could resist. The dragon ran down the street after the bakery truck. The house went along, of course, like the shell on a snail. Look at that dragon running down the street with a house connected to him. The mailman was just coming up the path with some mail for the Bixbys when their house rushed past him and headed down the street. He chased the Bixby's house for a few blocks, but he couldn't catch it. When Mr. Bixby came home for lunch, the first thing he noticed was that his house was gone. Luckily, the neighbor was able to tell him which way it went. Look at her telling him, "It went that way." Mr. Bixby got in his car and went looking for the house. He studied all the houses as he drove along. Finally, he saw one that looked familiar. Billy and Mrs. Bixby were waving from an upstairs window. See him there waving? And the dragon, he is eating the bread. Mr. Bixby climbed over the dragon's head onto the porch roof and through the upstairs window. "How did this happen?" Mr. Bixby asked. "It was the dragon," said Billy. "There's no such thing," Mother started to say. "There is a dragon," Billy insisted, "a very big dragon." And Billy patted the dragon on the head. Look at that cute dragon. The dragon wagged its tail happily. Then, even faster than it had grown, the dragon started getting smaller. Soon, it was kitten size again. "I don't mind dragons this size," said Mother. "Why did it have to grow so big?" "I'm not sure," said Billy, "but I think it just wanted to be noticed." Do you feel like that sometimes? Like you're not noticed like this dragon? So you do something to make yourself noticed? That's all this dragon was doing. We can't grow like the dragon did, but we can do other things. There's your book. There's no such thing as a dragon. I hope you enjoyed this story. I love it. I think it's just such a cute story. So until next time, bye boys and girls. Remember, you are loved.